Hi folks, Larry Winget here. Hope you all are able to join me here on the Larry Winget fan page to talk about professionalism and the importance of standing up for it. This will also be used as one of my podcasts, so for those of you who are listening to this as a podcast, I welcome you. You can always join me for these on the Larry Winget fan page on my Facebook page. If you're not following me there, you should be. For those of you who follow me here on the Larry Winget fan page, you need to be listening to my podcast. A lot of unique stuff that I put on the podcast that I don't share here, and it's not anyplace else. It's just recorded as a podcast. And there's a handful showing up right there. And of course, I also do the How to Be a Real Man podcast with my buddy Chris Widener, and I hope you all are tuning in for that. It is getting a lot of traction. If you're not listening to it, you're missing it. All right, there's Peter and Amy and Al and Randy and Sonia and Shane and Evo and Austin, and here we go. So, lots going on, Austin. Thank you for asking. You can tell it's a beautiful day here in Paradise Valley, Arizona. Eric Kidd, all the way from Talking Stick, just right over there. Big crowd here. Rob, Curtis, Jerry, good afternoon. Now it's still morning. It's afternoon where you are, though. There's Darren and Ian and Tammy. There you go. Glad everybody showed up. All right, let's get going. You know, I've had a busy social media week. You know, I made a post, and those of you who follow me, you see what I post all the time, and I talked about the importance of integrity. And if you see things going on in your industry, shabbiness, a lack of ethics, and so forth, you're obligated to speak up. See, I believe that what you endorse and what you put up with, what you tolerate, is what you ultimately endorse. I think if you let people by with their stupidity, if you let them by with work that is lacks integrity and they have a reputation where they have a lack of ethics, I think we are obligated to say something about that in order to maintain the integrity of our own industry. And I got a lot of heat for that, which kind of amazed me. That people would actually say, some people said, well, why don't you just keep your mouth shut and let them do what they do? Because it's not right. You know, see, I wrote a book called Grow a Pair, and what's wrong with damn near everything. And what I believe we have to do is that when we see injustice, we must speak up. We have to speak up. And if we don't speak up, our lack of speaking up is an endorsement of the bad behavior. Now let's add on to that. A couple of days ago, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I did a little bit of a tirade on LinkedIn about LinkedIn, saying along the lines of evidently the purpose of LinkedIn has changed. It seems to me that the purpose of LinkedIn is just a place where people connect with you so that they can immediately fill your inbox with their sales pitch. Look at that. Yeah, some of you are agreeing with me on there. I appreciate that. They immediately fill your inbox with their sales pitch, and they've done no qualification. And I said on there that, you know, probably 5 times a week, somebody tells me how they can help me become a speaker. You know, I've been a speaker for a good long while, kind of at the top of the game, made a lot of money being a speaker, teach other people how to be speakers. I'm in the Speaker Hall of Fame. And yet we have people trying to sell me on how they could teach me how to be a speaker. Drives me nuts. I have people saying, we can help you get on local radio and that will expand your career. I'm on national television several times a month. Local radio doesn't do me a damn bit of good. But did they bother to look? I have people saying, we can help you write a book. Well, I've written 6 New York Times, Wall Street Journal bestsellers. I think I know how to write a book. And here's all it would take. I don't put down the fact that they are selling. I put down that they lack professionalism in selling. Professionalism. And I had people, see, I believe those people are providing a solution to a problem they don't know exists. And I think that makes you a hack. It makes you a hustler. I think we're going to be professional salespeople. One, selling 101. And this is what I tell them all when they do this stupid crap to me. Selling 101. Identify a problem, a need. Just do that. And if you're immediately filling my my inbox with your sales pitch saying, let us help you write a book, and you haven't identified the fact that I might want a book, or maybe that I've written 6 bestsellers, then you're a hack. You're a hustler. You haven't done your homework. And yet, can you believe this? I had people put me down for speaking up about it. Now, the overwhelming majority agreed with me, but I had people defending the fact that one guy said, sometimes being a hustler is the only way you can start. No, that's not true. That's not the only way you can start. Before you go into a profession, and I believe selling is an honorable profession. Before you can go into a profession, I think you ought to do a little work to know about the profession. Go to a class. I said, read a book. Figure it out before you do it. And one guy said, well, what if you read the wrong book? You read a book at least, and no book is the wrong book. No book is going to tell you from a selling standpoint, just go out there and splatter the world with your crap without ever figuring out whether anybody wants or needs your crap. No book's going to do that. No good sales book's going to do that. Come on. And yet they come down on me, and they will on you, when you stand up for being a professional. When you put integrity down and stand up for being a professional, somebody's going to trash you for that. The bar is, according to Leonard, the bar has gradually become set so low. Absolutely right. Rod, you're the man. No, I'm just a man, but I appreciate you saying that. We have a better chance of finding Jimmy Hoffa these days than we do workers who act and behave professionally. Oh, there are some. There are some, really. Al says, exactly, lazy salespeople wear me out. And Al, that's exactly what it is. They're lazy. Some idiot, and I'm trashing the idiot as much as I am the people who do it. Some idiot sold them on the idea that the way you use social media is just to blast the marketplace with a bunch of horse shit, hoping somebody steps in it and then comes to you to clean it off. Good God, what a trashy business time we are in these days. And I think the people, us, you, right there, who are writing on this page right now, who get it, and me, I think we are obligated to speak up for what's right. And you'll be put down for it. And then today I get one of these high and mighty assholes. High and mighty assholes, they're everywhere. All these people who do their moral preening. Look at me, how special I am. I always take the high road. It's always contradictory to me that they're taking the high road, how I ought not to say anything bad to somebody while they're trashing me for saying it. Irony. Amazing to me. So this high and mighty asshole writes me this thing and says, Larry, I just think it would be better if you showed more respect and more compassion and just maybe kept your mouth shut and didn't say anything to anybody and instead led by example. Is that what you think? You dumbass. I'm fired up about this one today. Can you tell? This one fires me up. Because it questions my integrity, because I'm questioning people who don't have integrity. And let me take what this guy said. Just keep your mouth shut and lead by example, and that's how you do the most good. He said, words don't do any good, Larry, only actions. All right, let me see. If I don't speak up against killing people and I just don't kill people, will that make people stop? If I don't speak up against running red lights, and I just don't run a red light, that'll make everybody else not run red lights too. Right? See how stupid the logic is there? See what a total lack of logic there is there? Just keep your mouth shut and always lead by example. I believe we all should lead by example. I believe living by example is the best way to teach, but it's not the only way to teach. At some point, you got to get people's attention and speak up for what's right. You've got to speak up. Open your damn mouth. If you're not opening your damn mouth saying, this is bullshit and I'm not putting up with it anymore, then you are an accessory to the crime. And I don't believe you ought to be an accessory to the crime, especially when it comes to standing. You know why business is crap today? Is because people kept their mouth shut and tried to just lead by example. I respect my industry enough to speak up for my industry. Do you? You should. Speak up for your industry. When you see people out there with unethical behavior, speak up about it. Say something. That's what we all have to do. If we all collectively started to speak up against all the stupidity that we see in the world, maybe a little bit, and I'm not saying we're going to change the world. I don't believe the world just changes. I believe we can change our world, but I believe that we can have an impact on the world by increasing awareness of consumers out there in our business world that there's unethical behavior going on. You know, I trash people who say they have a bestseller when they've sold 10 books on Amazon in the course of 1 hour. It's like the dumbass who took a picture of his foot and made it an Amazon #1 bestseller. That's not a bestseller, folks. I speak up against that. And people trash me for speaking up, saying, well, you know, times have changed. Not that much they haven't. You have to speak up for whatever's driving you nuts in your industry. You have to be the voice sometimes because we don't have any people guarding our businesses these days. Probably, I don't know what kind of industry you're in, but probably nobody is out there as the watchdog. So, and I'm not saying you got to make it your full-time job to do that, but if you're really going to serve others well, if your goal is to really serve people and add value to people, do that some of the time by speaking up against what's wrong. All right. What you tolerate, you condone. Thanks, Paul. That is one of my best. I appreciate that. All of the advances and conveniences today, and people still ain't happy. Yep, that's true. I so needed to hear this on my way to a ministry conference. Thanks for saying that, Tammy. Dana says, I'm the black sheep in my workplace because I stand up for what's wrong and how we're being treated. Well, there you go. Now I'm labeled as difficult. Al says, so-called HR directors that lead with fear instead of leadership have developed a culture of just look away. Isn't that the truth? You know, the reason there's bad behavior in the workplace among employees is because they've gotten by with it. They've gotten by with it because nobody's got the balls anymore to step up and say, you know, we're paying you to work. Get off your damn phone and go to work. Ooh, what if I hurt their feelings? I tell you what, don't hurt their feelings. Fire them. How's that? Yeah, I am on a rant today. So agreed, says Kim. I have high standards for myself and my staff. High standards. That's what we need, high standards. But high standards that are kept a secret don't do anybody any good. So if you have high standards for your business, speak up about it. Speak up about it. And if you see low standards going on in your industry, speak up about it. Demand that the industry elevate itself. Demand that from others. And one of the ways you do that is to educate the consumers out there by letting them know you don't do it and you don't want anybody else to do it. And the reason you don't do it and you don't want anybody else to do it because it's not right. It's a core value that has been violated. It's an ethical issue. It's an integrity issue. It's an issue of honesty. It's not right. That's what it comes down to. If it's not right, don't do it. And if you see other people doing what's not right, say something about it. There you go. That is my rant today. And you can expect to see me continue to stand up, and I will bow my back against these people who trash me for standing up for what's right. And I'm not going to let people in my industry get by with it, and you shouldn't let people in your industry get by with it. And they come up with every weak, cowardly excuse in the world and will make those of us with a voice, they'll make us try to feel bad. Rise above that. Do what's right for the one reason is this. It's the right thing to do. That's what we need to get back to. We do what's right because it's the right thing to do. We don't need any other reason. We do it simply because it's the right thing to do. Paul said, I picked up 3 clients this month who had been approached by our competition, but they signed with us as they said we were much more honest. Honesty! There you go, Paul! You know, I try to be honest with everybody. People call and say, we want you to speak. I had one call just recently. Guy called and they had chosen me. And I said, why did you hire me? And they tell me why they hired me. And that's my one question for everybody. And this guy says, and here's what we want you to add to your presentation. And then he runs through this whole thing. And I go, well, that's your speech. That's not my speech. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do your speech for you. You're the CEO. You're the president. Why don't you stand up and give that speech and let me give my speech? Nobody gives my speech like I can give my speech. And nobody ought to give your speech except for you. And he goes, but that's what I want you to say. I mean, we're hiring you to be our speaker. I said, no, you're wanting to hire a mouthpiece. I'm not going to be your mouthpiece. I will be your speaker, and I'll be the best speaker about what I do. And I said, listen, I just suggest you hire somebody else. You're looking for a mouthpiece. I'm not going to do that. So I didn't get the business. All right, good. I didn't want that kind of business. But most speakers, I can tell you right now, you just tell me what you want me to say, and I'll get up there and say it. That's not integrity. Don't need any more of that. We need people to stand up for what's right. Be honest. If you can't do it, say you can't do it. It's the way it ought to be. Your rants get my metabolism going, sister. Damn me. And burn calories. Hell, I wonder if they're burning calories on me too. I hope they are. If rants burn calories, I would be anorexic. That's a good line, isn't it? So there you go. It's called integrity. Absolutely, Dana. Bob says you named it right, Larry. Integrity even when it hurts. And sometimes you don't know it has integrity until it hurts. And so if it hurts, ask yourself why it hurts. If you're hurting for good reasons, love the pain. So thanks for reminding us to stand up and that it's okay for us not to shut up. Absolutely. Oh, so there you go, folks. This has been my little rant for the day. Thank you so much. Hey, share this one. Oh my goodness, I've been ranting for over 16 minutes, almost 17 minutes. That's plenty long for anybody. Share this if you think there are other people who ought to hear it. I appreciate that. Hey, do listen as I started off today. Listen to the Grow a Pair podcast. This will be on there by tomorrow, but I've got a lot of other exclusive content on there as well. And please tune into the How to Be a Real Man podcast. With me and my buddy Chris Widener. Boy, we take on everything. And it's a lot of fun and it's getting a lot of traction. Thank you all so much for showing up here today. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.